Not going back to my cage after quarantine is lifted. Please excuse the long and ranting post, brought to you by Freedom and Rum. 49-year-old man here, with a 46-year-old wife, married 15 years, 2 kids 16 male and 13 male, yeah you guessed it, surprise pregnancy with our oldest equals marriage. To outsiders we have the perfect life and marriage with a nice house, the usual 3 cars, 2 dogs, too much stuff and my wife's 10 million egg posts of our happy family. Inside the cage it's nothing but misery. There's no kindness, no love, no affection, no sex. There are only expectations I never live up to, demands, things I need to do and then redo because I never get it right. I'm in therapy for depression, our youngest is in therapy for depression/anxiety, only family members know this. My wife insisted we take our therapy in the larger town an hour away so nobody would find out. Both therapists have tried to get my wife involved in helping with treatment of the issues, and she's always refused. Everything is her way or the highway. I'm told if I leave or ever cheat, she'll make sure to take everything in court, plus make sure to keep me away from my children. I hear this a few times a week whenever I haven't done exactly what she wants and done it to her perfectionist standards. I'm not even called by my name at home, it's always you, your father, usually you need to do this for me or your father is being stupid again. It's been like this since about a year after our youngest was born. There was a gradual lessening of sex, then affection, then even basic respect to where I've become nothing more than an accessory for fancy pictures while in public, and a pathetic dumbass mental case in private and treated with disdain and anger constantly. I tried to get my wife to try couple counseling early into the decline, but there's nothing wrong with her, I'm the problem. It got worse after I was officially diagnosed with depression. She's been using that as a weapon against me. Even trying to discuss small things I'm unhappy with at home leads to a big fight and divorce threats every single time. Even mentioning that I'm having a bad day and need a break, or some help just starts a fight or a mean lecture about I need to be working on myself. For the past 7 to 8 years I've just been in a fog going through the marriage going sour, the getting the depression diagnosed, the adjustment to different medications, trying to not let the depression affect my family, and the absolute soul-crushing hell of being married to someone who thinks I'm stupid and despises me. Plus, work, raising the kids, house chores, getting dragged to whatever new thing my wife decided we need to do just so she can post pictures of her perfect family times. I've basically been living in hell. Until this quarantine. My wife insisted I leave the family home for the sake of the family, because I've still needed to go into work once or twice a week, and the kids both had childhood asthma and might be in danger. I wholeheartedly agreed to this, better safe than sorry. My wife insisted I pay for a hotel and stay there. But when her sister and husband found out I was living in a hotel they invited me to stay with them up in the larger town until this virus problem is all over. That started a hell of a text and phone fight with my wife, of course, since it wasn't her idea and she keeps our family pretty distant from her sister because supposedly she's a bad influence. Then I was the bad guy for even answering the message my sis-in-law sent about staying over, with a polite no thank you, and I was making my wife look bad to say no, so I ended getting told by my wife to go stay with them. But I'm still paying for it in more angry messages and calls than usual. I've never understood until now why the in-laws are a bad influence. When they visit us for the big holidays and the kids' birthdays, they are always nice, fun, good people to be around. What I'm realizing the longer I'm around them day in day out is that the bad influence is the way they treat each other with respect and caring. It's influencing me to realize that there's something else out there other than drudgery, dread, fear and misery. Something worth losing my home and even my children for. I'm just so damn tired of it all and I won't do it anymore. I'm sitting here, 4th drink of the night in hand, watching 2 people who care about each other make dinner together, talk about their day, just be happy around each other. It's shoving in my face just how much I am getting mistreated at home. It's making me see that, despite my mental issues, I don't deserve being mistreated so badly, and I've decided I'm not going back to my cage after this. There's no way my wife will ever change, or the situation at home will change. I've been looking up legal separations, lawyers to hire, apartments to rent. I've scheduled a virtual appointment with my therapist for tomorrow, to get some guidance there too. I have a list of people to start calling tomorrow to start off this divorce. I just want out, and I'm going to get myself out. Thanks for listening. Here are some comments. Comment 1. P.S. Your mental issues will most likely subside when you are not being ignored and abused in your own house. You will feel so much better. Comment 2. I made the decision to divorce after driving 11 hours alone to go to a funeral. At that funeral, everyone had their person. Holding hands, murmuring kind words, men saying, "I'll pull the car around." Women saying, "Do you need anything else?" A whole family of old, young, married, coupled. I was absolutely the only one whose significant other refused to go. I looked around and realized I was never going to have that kind of companionship or friendship. It was horrible. I cried on the way home, but set my resolve. I am 49 and willing to start again. A Reddit quote: "The good thing about divorce is, it gives you a chance to find love, because you were never going to find it in your marriage. Best wishes to you." Comment 3: Careful. You may lose access to the home this way. General advice is not leave the house because you stand to lose a lot. Scroll down to what can I take if I move out before our divorce is finalized? Do not move out of your home before your divorce is finalized. Legally speaking, it is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Even if your divorce is amicable and you can't be together anymore, leaving is one of the most legally damaging decisions you can make in the middle of a divorce. The reason is simple. The person who leaves, even if it's because they're shocked by the news that their spouse wants a divorce, is legally considered abandoning the family. If you leave the home and your divorce proceedings don't go as planned, your spouse can choose to play dirty. This means she could accuse you of abandoning her and the kids. She's more likely to get the house, the kids, and more if it's determined you voluntarily left the home and family of your own accord. See a lawyer before you go back, and don't breathe a word of your intentions to the wife or family. Plan first. Then act. Comment 4. Yep, my ex-wife moved out, and considering I had a $60K job, and she had no job, all I had to pay her was $350 a month for 8 months. And split a $15K 401K. I did assume health costs for kids, but got joint custody, no child support, and kept my pensions. I kept the house, and most of the stuff inside. But she was desperate to move in with her new man. They have since split. So yeah, being prudent and steady wins out in the long run. Comment 5. I think that sounds like it makes sense. Also, despite all her boasts about what she'll do in the divorce, she doesn't have that kind of power. The divorce laws are what they are. If she tries to take more than her share, for the most part that just means it will get burned down in litigation, resulting in a smaller pot for her anyway, even if she wins. I broke my own shackles 2 years ago. Life is so much better. Comment 6. Amen, brother. You are right. You do not deserve to be treated like you have been. And a word of the wise from dealing with an emotional and psychological abuser. They can, and do often, turn violent when faced with the abandonment of their provider/carer/slave. Please be careful and have your exit strategy planned with contingencies. Do you have firearms or other easily accessible lethal things around your home? Those need to be secured. When you go back, make sure to secure your documents and/or copies of the following: passport, marriage license, taxes, last couple of years, car titles, house deed, children's paperwork, vaccination/school stuff/etc. Insurances, 401k, bank statements, credit cards, bills. Try and set up separate bank accounts, credit cards, etc. and a P.O. box. If she is just an authorized user, plan on canceling her cards. Stay strong, man, you got this.